Hello and welcome to another telephone game video. Today we're going to be using the telephone game in conjunction with a few VCOs, some filters, VCAs, etc. But the main thing we're going to be using to drive our envelopes, our kick, our hi-hat is going to be nothing but a regular clock divider. Today we're using the full-featured 4MS QCD. You could also use the 4MS RCD. You could also use any number of the hardcore clock dividers that are available. We're actually clocking the telephone game today with the hardcore sketch Tapped Out from Aesthetic Underground, which is a really great sketch. It's available on the Muffwiggler forum in the SNAZZY FX subforum. But you could clock it with anything, an LFO, a VCO, really anything that will give it a signal, even sine waves. So we're going to plug in a clock, and that's going to start turning on everything else because we're taking the clock out and plugging that into the QCD. So now I've got stage 5 plugged into one VCO, a bubble sound VCOB, and I've got stage sum, which is the sum of all 5 stages, plugged into another VCO. So first we're going to turn on the sum VCO. And you can tell that it's more than one note. Since it's all 5 stages, it gets kind of a trill effect or a little like a quick arpeggio or something. Okay, now I'm going to turn up the other VCO, which is coming out of stage 5. And right now, as far as what signal we're giving the telephone game to sample, we're just giving it the Y out of the Chaos Brother. Once again, you could give it an LFO, you could give it a VCO, you could give it a recording of a train going by, you could give it the output of anything. It's got a built-in white noise as well, which is normal to the input. For example, if we take it and we plug it into the output of the Harvestman Piston Honda, which is a great source for different types of waveforms, and we put that on an LFO setting, you can hear that we get a different type of melody. Now right now we're in clock mode A. Clock mode A doesn't sample all the time. It samples for all 5 stages, then it waits 5 stages. So it's nice for the trill effect because you get more pauses in it. If I open up the envelope, you can hear what I mean. And actually that would sound really nice with the wow and flutter. So let's hook that up to the wow and flutter real quick. And you can hear our bass line is still going, and that bass line is completely generated just by what's coming into the telephone game going through the 5 stages. So this is a good example of creating melodic content with the telephone game. We have something that kind of sounds like a song. And the way that we're controlling the notes is by what we put into the telephone game and then what we do with the knobs. So I'm going to start turning up some of the feedback knobs and also playing with the loop mode, okay? got feedback for the sum and for the stage 5. As I turn them up, you can hear what it'll do. And right now I've turned down our input completely, and now all we have up is feedback. Which is kind of a neat effect. And then if we turn up the input again for just a split second, then turn it back down, those feedbacks are going to take those bits of voltage and keep playing with them. So you can imagine in a live setting, you could do a lot just by turning knobs. And then we can turn the loop on. You notice our bass line is staying on the same notes now. Turn it off. And turn the feedback up again. Our bass line changes. Now, if we want, we can have the loop turned on and off by an external gate, which it's now doing. The Chaos Brother is now sending it a gate to turn it on and off. It's actually pretty beautiful. So anyway, that's one way of using the telephone game, is just with a clock divider, a clock in, a clock out to the clock divider. Your clock divider turns your envelopes on and off, turns your kick drum and your hi-hat on. Thank you.